be beaming, I be booming down that block. Everywhere you go, you know they know I'm hot.
What's the deal? What's going on, my good people? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you all are doing well. If this is your first time here, I want to welcome you. Pull up a seat. Hope you enjoy the content. And before we get into this food, I want to ask that you like, comment, share, subscribe. Go ahead and tap that bell while you're at it so you are notified anytime I drop a brand new video, go live, or schedule a premiere. All right, y'all. So we back in the car. We back with some food, back with story time, all that. So let me give y'all a close up. I got a salmon salad. Nice and colorful. Got my salmon shredded on top, as you can see. Got feta cheese, cherry tomatoes, cucumbers, and I got spring mix. So, pretty simple salad, but it is delicious. I've been eating this all week, y'all. I've been eating salad all week. I made the dressing too, you guys. So, let me give y'all a bite for all my salad lovers out there. I made a honey Dijon dressing. Some of y'all saw it on Instagram. I will put the recipe below. It has olive oil in it, Dijon mustard, honey, thyme, basil, dry thyme, and some other stuff in there. So I'll put all the ingredients below if you want to try it. I love trying to make dressings and stuff at home, you know, because you know what's inside of it. You know, a lot of that stuff just got a bunch of crap in it, pretty much. Stuff you can't pronounce, stuff that's not good for you. And I'll put the recipe below. And the recipe, you know, with the measurements that I include, I was able to eat 4 salads with that amount of dressing that I made. This is my 4th salad with that same dressing that I made the other day. So you do get a good amount of dressing out of it. Yeah. I went hiking the other day and it was all bad. I thought we were going to be on a trail, so I really wasn't expecting to be hiking like that. So I went out there in some shoes that I love walking in. Like, they're these like casual shoes, but they're really comfortable on my feet. They have a lot of cushion inside of them. Not necessarily any grip at the bottom, but they have cushion. That's why I wore them. Y'all, it was almost over. I really almost either died or broke my neck, one of the two. Thank God I didn't get hurt, but it was bad. Y'all should have seen me. I was on some MacGyver-ish. Like, y'all should have seen the way I was crawling on that ground. I had to hold on to stuff to pull myself up. Thank God for adrenaline. You know, when it kicks in, you know, it's like you tap into a whole nother part of your body or something like that. So anyway, I'm glad I'm here to talk about it. So, and I'm also not a fan of hiking. It's like every time I go hiking, I like the idea of hiking, but then when I go, I don't like it. So maybe I should just stop going. You know, I'll be telling y'all all my business, and I'm on this weight loss journey. I just want to say this shirt that I have on is one of my non-scale victories, y'all. I had bought a bunch of shirts from Old Navy last summer. It was like a bunch of white shirts. And they were all extra larges, you know. Because I could wear extra large, usually my size. But sometimes it's 2X or double XL, depending on like the shirt or the brand. But it was Old Navy, and I fit the rest of the XL shirts just fine, right? So I bought a bunch of their white XL shirts. When I got home, When I tell you that shirt was just hugging my stomach, hugging my arms, like it was tight as hell. So anyways, I can get into the shirt now comfortably. So like my stomach is definitely gone down, and so has my arms. And I took my measurements to see it, and I could feel it and see it as well. But your clothes will tell you everything you need to know about what's going on with your body, right? So I'm so proud of this shirt. I'm glad to have it on. I'm glad I could fit it. I'm glad it's comfortable. And that's it. I'm about to jump into story time in just a second. Hit y'all with this finale. Just one more thing is that my seasonings, the Good as Can Be seasonings, will be back soon. I know I haven't really talked about it because I haven't really had an update. I talked to the company, the manufacturer, the other day, and I put my order in. My order, it was in before the storm happened, but I think they were a little bit behind then. And then, of course, when everything happened in Texas, they were closed for like a week and a half. So the seasonings will either be here in end of this month or early next month. So y'all just hold tight with me. I will let you know when they're in transit and on their way to me and all of that. I'll continue to give y'all updates, but I'm just being patient. Y'all be patient with me. Because more than anything, I wanted to make sure that they didn't lose anything, that none of their staff was hurt. So I gave them some time before I even called, to inquire about it. But I talked to them the other day, so everything is in motion, y'all. I promise. I've been getting a lot of messages, so I wanted to just give y'all at least an update. All right. Let's go ahead and get into story time. We left off with Camille confronting Sean, telling her that she's been caught. I know who you are. I've been on your tail. I know exactly who you are. Maxine LeRae Daniels. I see how you've been in all these different states, scheming on all these different women. She told her, you need to leave. This is the last time you're going to see Naomi. So we pick up where Sean is in the house. She waited for Naomi to go to sleep, made sure she was sound asleep. So, Naomi was asleep about 5-10 minutes. And, she gets up and she's quietly packing her bags, getting everything that she needs. Not even her bag. She's packing as much as she can in the black bag that Camille gave her. So, she's packing what she can, and she's kind of going back and forth on if she should leave a note or not. But she decides to leave a note. And in the note, she just says, you're never going to see me again. I hate that it had to be like this. Please don't try looking for me. Please don't call me. I'm sorry. And I love you. And, she signs her name, signs Sean. And, she really seemed like she feels some kind of way as she's writing this note. Like, it seems like it's painful for her to do, right? So she writes the note, and then she, quietly leaves out of the house, closes the door behind her, and, walks, to the car. Now, at this point, it's probably like 1 o'clock in the morning, because they had the game night, and all that stuff, right? So they was partying, hanging out all night. So it's about 1 o'clock in the morning. So it's quiet outside. It's dark. It's quiet. Nobody's on the street. Even outside of the neighborhood, it's just quiet in general because it's late. So, she walks to the car. She gets in Camille's car. And Camille is on the phone. And, she can't make out who she's talking to. But Camille is like full blown in a conversation. It doesn't seem like the conversation is ending anytime soon. So, she's just in the passenger seat. Just in the passenger seat. Let's just kind of like, really processing what's happened. You know what I'm saying? So she gets comfortable in the passenger seat and they take off. They take off, drive to the neighborhood, get out of the neighborhood. They're now on the street. They're in the city, driving. Again, the streets are pretty empty. They hop on the freeway. And, Sean is just, kind of relaxed in the seat, like rolling the window down, just kind of like looking out, like staring into space, you know what I'm saying? Because she's like, trying to figure out what's going to happen next, right? So they're driving for a little while. Now we're going to go ahead and cut back to Naomi. So at this point, Naomi's probably been asleep for about, 30, 40 minutes or so. And she wakes up. she wakes up because she has to go to the restroom. So she goes to the restroom, and she realizes that Sean is not in the bed when she gets up, but she goes to the restroom, and then is like kind of looking around, because she's like, where is she? She assumed that she was going to come lay down, or that she'd be laying down by now, but she doesn't hear the TV on. There's no music on. She walks into the living room. It's empty. And she's looking around, and she's like, Sean? Doesn't see her laying down on the couch. Like, she's not anywhere. And then she finally makes her way to the counter, and she sees this note. And she reads it, and she's just like, what? Like, she's in total shock. Like, don't call me. Don't try to come after me. Like, what is she talking about? So of course she grabs her phone and she calls. Even though the letter says don't call, she calls. So she calls Sean's cell phone, and she hears the vibration in the house. So Sean's phone is like tucked away on the couch. Like, she sees it, or she hears it coming from the couch area. She digs her hand in between the seat, and she pulls out Sean's phone. So the phone that Sean had is left behind, right? But she's like, what does all of this mean? She goes through Sean's phone, looking for clues, maybe what happened. And the phone is wiped out, y'all. Like, it's back to factory settings. There's no text messages, no phone numbers. There's nothing in it. This phone is empty. There's nothing going on this phone at all. So she's like, what's going on, right? So she's so confused, right? So her next instinct tells her to go and look at the security camera, because they have a security camera like that covers around the perimeter of the house, front and back. So she looks at the security camera, and she goes back to Sean walking outside, because Sean said she went outside because she heard a noise, or she was going to get something out the car. So she sees Sean going outside the house and coming back in, and then she sees her being confronted by Camille. She sees Camille pulling the gun on Sean, and she can hear their conversation. So she hears the entire exchange. And she's like, what? Maxine? Oh my God. Like, she's traveled from state to state and done what? Like, so she's blown away. Like, who have I been in a relationship with? Is this true? Like, I mean, she's just in complete shock. Because, I mean, obviously she's wasn't expecting to see this, right? So she continues just watching the footage. She sees Camille go to her car. She sees Sean come back into the house. And then eventually she fast forwards to Sean, walking out of the house with the black bag, gets in the car with Camille. They drive off. She sees the direction that they drive off. And she's like, oh my God, like, I don't even know what to do, And she's like, Camille is a Fed? So she calls Aubrey. She's like, I know Aubrey don't know that her girl is a Fed. Like, what is going on? Calls Aubrey. Phone goes to voicemail. Just keeps on going to voicemail. So she has no idea what to do. I mean, she's still processing. She's still half asleep. Sits down on the couch, still complete shock. Like, she's shaking on the inside, shaking on the outside. She starts crying, and she just kind of balls up on the couch because she just doesn't know what to do. She's lost. Can't believe what she's been a part of. Like, what's going on? So now we cut back to the car with Camille and Sean. Camille finally wraps up the conversation that she's on the phone. Who she's talking to on the phone, gets off the phone. And as soon as she gets off the phone, she looks at Sean and she goes, how do we do? And Sean, at this point, she's pulled out a burner phone. She had a burner phone in her bag. She pulls out the burner phone and she was like, man, we came up. She was like, we came up, we did. She was like, this was a good decision to hit Naomi. This is a really good decision. So if anybody missed this, Sean and Camille are working together. They know each other. So they, as a duo, are scheming on people, okay? And usually the scheming has to do with, usually Camille plays a Fed or whatever she has to play. And usually Sean is like, the lover boy, the ladies lover, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's able to finesse and charm women very easily. She's tech savvy, able to do all kind of stuff, right? So they work together as a team and they do this kind of stuff. So, and Naomi happened to be their, most recent victim. And so she's like, yeah, how do we do? So, Sean tells her like, yo, I don't know who you know, Naomi was getting advice from, but she started a 401k, you know, plan when she was young. She was like, I wiped out her whole 401k. She had $200,000 in there. So all of that's gone. So she was like, 100,000 for you, 100,000 for me. She was like, we came up, you know, not a bad day's work. You know what I'm saying? So they just kind of ride in the car, listen to music, laughing, you know, not feeling any kind of way. They have no remorse about anything that they've done. And then they kind of riding around, and Camille asked, like, yo, did you get that list I sent you? I sent you a list. Did you get a chance to check it out? Excuse me. So Sean's like, oh, I saw the email. Let me look at it. So she opens up the email. It's just this long list of all these women's names, where they're from, their age, their social media handles, you know, last time they were in a relationship, money that they have in the bank, just all this information. So while Sean has been in this relationship with Naomi, building all this stuff for the last year or so, you know, Camille's been compiling information for other women. It's like a waiting list of women that they can scheme on and hit next, basically. You know what I'm saying? So she's been just finding women, looking at it, getting all their information, accessing their personal files, and putting together this list for who they can hit next. And then after that, right? So, you know, she looking at the list and she was like, damn, you did a good job. Like, there's a lot of women to choose from, you know, and they all over the United States, you know. And so she was like, now let me tell you. So Camille was like, you know, I think that we should hit this girl at the top of the list. Her name is Jessica. And, you know, she's about 100 miles east. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to travel very far. You know what I'm saying? Like, we should hit her next. She's an heiress. You know, she got bread. You know, her family has bread. She seems really gullible, really easy to get next to. Like, check out her Instagram. So Sean goes on her Instagram and takes a look, and she's like, yeah, I could get her. I could get her real easy. I can, yeah. Let's hit her next. So she's like, cool, bet. Let's do it. So, you know, so Sean just stretched out in the passenger seat, feeling good, looking good, happy about the come up that they just had, looking forward to the next, you know, for Jessica, the next woman that they're going to hit. And Camille's phone is like acting up. It's about to die or whatever. So, you know, Sean is like, where we going? We going to the hideout? Are we going to our spot? She was like, nah. Camille's like, nah, we're going to go to, I got an Airbnb for us. Like, you know, let's chill a little bit before we, you know, move on to the next person. You know, we got take a little drive out to this Airbnb. It has a pool, got pool tables, jacuzzi, got an outdoor grill. It's like 7 bedrooms. There's a lot of space. Like, let's just go chill for a couple of days, you know, before we move on to the next girl. So she like, bet. So she was like, my phone is dying. Can you, you know, plug in the address so I can hear the GPS on how to get there? Because I don't remember how to get back, you know. Like, I'm familiar with the area. You know, I looked at it on the map, but like, I don't know how to get there or whatever. And it's my, you know, I ain't never been there. It's an Airbnb. So she like, yeah. So, you know, Sean plugs in the address. Plugging the address, and she, you know, the GPS is talking out loud. So while they still driving, they probably got about 30 minutes to drive. So Sean decides to take a nap. She sleep, you know. Camille has what she needs for the directions, so she's driving. You know, so they pull up into the neighborhood, and they pull into the driveway to this Airbnb, right? It's this massive house. It's huge. It's you know, the whole block is full of big houses, right? And they pull into the driveway, so they have to actually go find the Airbnb stuff to find the code to get into the house, you know, because you got to punch a code to get in. They didn't have like a key or anything like that, right? So, you know, they're going through all of that, and they hear police sirens, but they don't think nothing of it, right? They think the police is just in the area about to pass by. And as they still trying to get, you know, pull up the app and trying to get in and get all this information, they realize that the police is coming closer from both ways, and it's actually coming towards them. So they don't have anywhere to go, to run. They can't run into the house because they don't have the code to get in. And they just kind of looking at each other like, what the fuck is going on, right? So the police is like getting situated. Cars is coming in, stopping real hard or whatever. And they're sitting in the car waiting for everything to unfold, right? As all of this is happening, you know, Sean gets a text message. It's a voice note. And she's looking like, who could possibly be texting me? Because nobody has this number. It's a burner phone. Nobody has this number other than Camille, right? So she hits play on this voice note real quick. And, you know, she's just like, it's actually Naomi. It's Naomi's voice. And Naomi is just like, I can get my money back. She's like, but the same can't be said about your freedom. You trifling bitch. You know, and then she kind of is going on about whatever. And then she keeps it very short and sweet and stops. And so Sean is looking like, how did Naomi get this number and what is going on right now, right? Right. So the police hop out, tell them to get out the car, get out the car, raise your hands. And they do as they are told, right? And they're not really questioning anything. They're just trying to figure out how all of this caught up to them. Like, obviously they've been scheming, but they've been getting away with it, state after state, girl after girl. Like, what happened? How did this happen? All right, so essentially what happened is that a couple months ago, Naomi ended up finding the burner phone. Like, when they first moved into the apartment, she found the burner phone. She wasn't looking for it. She was looking for something else in the apartment and found this burner phone, right? So she found it. She didn't confront Sean about the burner phone. She just felt suspicious about it. So what she decided to do is that she put a mirroring app on the phone so she could see the activity on it. Not that she didn't trust Sean. Well, I guess maybe she didn't trust Sean. But she put the mirroring app on it so she could see any activity. So, of course, over the last couple of months, she checked in and there was no activity. So she was like, maybe I'm tripping. But she did not remove the mirroring app off of this phone. It stayed on there, right? So fast forward present day, once the shock was kind of wearing off, she's seen the security footage, like she's processing what's going on. She goes back to this mirroring app, like, let me look at this phone and see if there's any activity, where I can see where Sean is going or what's happening, right? So sure enough, she pulls it up. She sees immediately that her 401k was wiped out. She sees this list of women that Sean was looking at on the phone. She sees this Airbnb address. She sees an address plugged into, in the GPS. So she was like, all right, they're going somewhere. So Naomi's family is in law enforcement. So she calls her family, tells them what's going on. And, they send the police out to this address that was plugged in on his burner phone, right? So that's basically how the police arrived at this location, And that's pretty much it, Camille and Sean have finally been caught unexpectedly, All of this because Naomi decided to put a mirroring app on his burner phone when she found it a few months ago. You know what I mean? Like, did she ever think it was going to lead to this? Of course not. I'm sure she didn't. You know what I'm saying? And, people be out here scheming, y'all, like legit scheming. So just imagine when the police, collects and goes through all of their stuff, they going to see the list of all the women that they trying to get to, that they got on this waiting list. They going to see all the data they've collected. They going to see all this stuff that's going on and the email address, the emails and stuff that have been exchanged and all of that. So they're about to see all of this stuff. You know what I mean? I don't see Sean and Camille are done, I would imagine. Like, this is a mess. You know what I mean? And it just makes you think, like, there are people in the world that I don't know if they would go to this extreme, but there are absolutely people that, you know what I mean? Like, they go through people's social media. They go through great measures to find out about people, to gather information, to use that to their advantage when they're approaching people. Whether they're going to take advantage of them, use them, or whatever, I don't know. But people be out here scheming. That's the bottom line. Like, that is a fact. So anyway, Camille and Sean's days are probably over and their dynamic duo is done. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure they're going to do some real time for the stuff that they've done and the people that they've taken advantage of. You know what I mean? So anyway, that is the story time. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully it was easy to follow. Hopefully it was entertaining. If you have any questions, if anything was confusing, please let me know in the comments and I will clarify anything for you. Tomorrow is Friday, family night, as usual, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to have some fun. Might have some topics, some games, just have a good time. So y'all come through and hang out. If you are around, I appreciate you watching. Make the best of the day, y'all. Be good to yourself. Peace.
I be beaming, I be booming down that block. Everywhere you go, they know I'm hot.